Nestled in the south-central location of France is a region known as Gévaudan, famous for its rugged peaks, green valleys, and rolling hills. It is also known for its delicious wines, hearty stews, scrumptious cuisine, and creamy cheeses. In the mid-1700s, Gévaudan was a quiet forested region occupied by farmers who largely enjoyed their rural, quiet way of life. Here they would till the land and herd their flock, mindful of the untamed nature that surrounded them. Jeanne Bollet was a 14-year-old shepherdess who loved tending to her flock of sheep and enjoyed being out in the field. On June 30th, 1764, Jeanne was out in the fields, as was the norm. With the sun beating down on her, she watched as the lavender fields came to life. The scent of lavender filled the air as the purple sea of petals rippled in the breeze. The field stretched as far as her eyes could see. She loved the peacefulness and the scenic, magical haven of beauty that the fields gave her. Here, she would let her mind wander into the world of thoughts and fantasies. The 14-year-old, as with any teenager, would often fantasize about her years to come as she guided the flock through the fields. Unfortunately, her fantasies would never come to life, as on one fateful day, a beast attacked, ripping her throat apart and then eating her head. This was the first ever reported fatal attack from a creature who would be later known as the Beast of Gévaudan. A week later, a young lady was tending to cattle in the forest when the beast attacked yet again. Luckily for her, the bulls in the herd charged at the beast, which fled deep into the forest. Over the following months, the soon-to-be famous creature went on a murderous spree. The news of the horrific attacks spread through the Gévaudan villages like wildfire, and it quickly became the talk of the town. As rumors and speculations of the beast ran rampant, those lucky enough to survive the attacks described it as a large, spotted animal with reddish fur, a dark line along its spine with a tasseled tail. It was said to be capable of jumping 30 feet above the ground, possessing a frightening howl and sharp claws. It was a supernatural creature that each survivor described as looks like a wolf, but is not a wolf. The beast was a rural nightmare whose method of attack was consistent in that it preferred attacking children and women. However, it would also attack lone adult men, but in very rare incidents. The beast never attacked livestock, as the bulls would fearlessly charge at it. The farmers of Gévaudan were terrified, but they did not sit idle. Hunting parties were organized to track down and kill the beast. Bounties were offered for the beast's head, which attracted more skilled hunters who combed the Gévaudan forests. On October 8, 1764, hunters got word that the beast had been spotted stalking a herdsman at Château de la Baume. The hunters stalked through the woods, moving with precision as their boots crunched on the fallen twigs and leaves beneath. Their eyes scanned the trees for the creature. They successfully managed to drive it into the open. With a well-practiced aim, one of the hunters fired a musket at the beast without a flinch. As the shot echoed through the woods, the beast yelped in pain and fell to the ground. At last, the beast that had ravaged Gévaudan was finally gone. But before the hunters could get to the body, the beast rose and sped off. To the already petrified Gévaudan populace, this act was a confirmation of their superstition that the creature was indeed immortal. Gévaudan had turned into a grim-like fairy tale whose main character was a supernatural beast. For the villagers, the reality dawning on them was brutal, for in the following months, the beast went on a rampage, killing and maiming over 100 people. It went for the victim's neck and head, leaving just a few survivors behind. As 1764 came to an end, the villagers speculated that the beast didn't commit these heinous acts alone. Rather, it was a pair of creatures. This was because the number of attacks was so high in such a short period of time and were reported nearly simultaneously. Despite killing and maiming so many, the Beast of Gévaudan didn't capture the attention of the authorities. This is because, in 1764, France had just come from the 7-Year War, having suffered numerous defeats at the hands of the Prussians and the British. The country had also lost its overseas empire, with present-day Canada being one of them. News content was censored, and coverage had to undergo scrutiny. On January the 12th, 1765, almost 7 months after the beast began terrorizing the Gévaudan villagers, Jacques Portefeuille and his 6 friends were herding cattle in a meadow when it attacked again. But this time around, the beast had chosen the wrong prey. With his young friends aged between 8 to 12 years old, the 10-year-old Jacques led them on a counterattack mission against the beast. With fierce determination, they grabbed their herding sticks and, while shouting and yelling, swung them at the beast. The creature snapped and snarled at the young ones, but they remained brave. With a disappointed whine, the beast slinked back into the forest after more than 10 minutes of attack from the boys. Jacques and his friends finally let out a sigh of relief with pride of their bravery after dancing with death. News of his bravery traveled far and wide, reaching the royal palace at Versailles. King Louis XV got wind of the news and awarded 300 livres to Jacques and an education at the expense of the ancient regime. His companions were also gifted another 350 livres, which they shared among themselves. King Louis XV then decreed royal intervention to find and kill the beast. Captain Duhamel and his troops, who led the French army into Germany, were then sent to Gévaudan with one order, and one order only, to capture the beast, dead or alive. For days, Duhamel and his men trudged into the Gévaudan forests with their rifles ready to hunt for the beast. They were experts in tracking and hunting, zealous and confident in their abilities to execute the order. Despite their expertise, Duhamel and his men were unable to kill the beast. The captain blamed the larger part of their failure on the locals, who were inexperienced and uncooperative. On February 17, 1765, King Louis XV then sent Jean-Charles and his son Jean-François to help the captain and his men. The two were professional hunters who brought with them 8 bloodhounds that were trained in big game hunting. With the extra manpower and experience, the locals were hopeful that the menace would be over, but the truth was far from reality. The 2 professionals sent by the king disagreed on their strategies to kill the beast. Captain Duhamel organized parties to hunt the beast, while Jean-Charles and his son believed in stealthily stalking the beast and shooting it. In the next 4 months, the 2 groups hunted and killed over 20 Eurasian wolves that they believed the beast was part of. However, by June 22, 1765, the locals were still being attacked, and this prompted King Louis XV to send his personal aide, François Antoine, to Gévaudan. On September 20th, 3 months after his arrival, François set out armed with his rusty arquebus rifle into the Abbaye des Chazets forest. From a distance, he saw the beast peacefully napping in the underbrush, probably after a long night of hunting. It was a massive wolf, with fur as dark as the night, measuring 80 centimeters high and weighing about 60 kilograms. He immediately knew that he had his work of hunting in the rugged terrain cut out for him. He crouched down, brought his rifle level with his face, and aimed it toward the beast. He could feel the adrenaline pumping through his veins. The moment was tense. His pointing finger was ready, but before he could squeeze the trigger, the beast woke up. It was huge, measuring 1.7 meters in length. He had never seen a wolf so big. Its eyes shone with a malevolent gleam under the sun's rays. This must be the beast, he thought to himself. He felt his finger squeeze the trigger, and then bang! Attack survivors in Gévaudan identified the wolf as the beast by the scars on its body that had been inflicted by victims defending themselves. Back in Versailles, François was hailed a hero, receiving over 9,000 livres, awards, and titles. However, 4 months later, the attacks resumed. This time, the beast had attacked 2 boys aged 12 and 6. The older boy successfully fought it off, saving his younger sibling. Unfortunately, the locals were offered no help. They had to defend themselves. A local nobleman by the name of Marquis organized hunting parties. It was during one of these hunts that Jean Chastel finally killed the beast of Gévaudan. This was on June 19, 1767, 3 years after it first attacked. A post-mortem on its body revealed the remains of its last victim inside its stomach. The end of 3 years of savagery was celebrated by the locals, but not before 210 people were attacked, resulting in 113 of them meeting their terrifying final affliction.